get down to Manfield.
James Bott here with Corelli to call the action. And Corelli, we were talking about this matchup before. We actually have seen this matchup before at the Spring Major.
Yeah, saw it at the Spring Major. Falcons just survived a reverse sweep from Space Station, and a little bit of a grudge match, I feel like, here, James, because that was such a hotly contested series. Now they face off in the first round of Swiss.
But there is one big difference this time around, and it's that, you take Reynolds out and you put LJ in, and really, has been questions about both of these teams. For the Falcons, they made it to the finals in London, but then fell short at the World Championship. So can they bounce back? And now also with LJ, will LJ pay off like Daniel has paid off when he came in to fill in for Sipik?
Well, and of course, every move that a team makes, they're trying to win more, go further in these tournaments. And I think for Space Station so far, their Swiss stages in North America have been very solid. But when it comes to the winning, as Gibbs had mentioned earlier, they haven't done that for such a long time. 21 months is what Gibbs said. And when you pick up a guy like LJ, I think the jury's still out on has he improved this Space Station squad, and this is a huge opportunity for him to prove it.
We'll see if he does, or if the Falcons sink their talons into SSG and take him out. So far, this first minute has come and gone with no fanfare. Ahmad getting tipped at the mid by LJ. Daniel going for a solo play. Back down, Arsenal, like the decal he's got going on.
Festive here in Rotterdam for Arsenal, and I like that interview that we had from him. He seemed very calm from Arsenal, and usually he's very hyped up here on the stage, and of course at these lands. It's TRK, wants to try his luck at the back wall, but it's LJ to clear this one out for Space Station.
Well done by LJ there to defend that back wall. TRK and Ahmad, those are the two attackers. And how an opportunity, you saw two on the goal line. The Falcons just parked, letting TRK dribble this one out.
Well, he talked about the attackers for Falcons, but it was the defender, Khaled, there for Falcons to make that big save. And you're not going to see him move up the field too much, but defensively he has been at rock. Ahmed now trying to save this one off the back wall. He does, and Khaled there just trying to buy some time for Falcons. Arsenal's going to whip back around, but with no boost. Can't put anything together.
And just a moment ago, we saw back-to-back demos for Arsenal, and it is that physical gameplay. Even at the Spring Major in the upper bracket semis, it was the demos and the bumps that really gave Space Station the edge in the games that they won.
Just averaging over 2 demos per game is Arsenal. Only Reynolds and Com in North America have more than him per game.
I'm shocked to hear Com has more. Now another chance. The Falcons, a dunk attempt from Ahmad, but it goes nowhere. TRK trying to take it to the air, but the bump off the ball from LJ prevents that attack.
Talking about the demos, but just the physical game in general, James, paying off here for Space Station, pushing Falcons off the ball. Now Arsenal playing it to space. Let's see what LJ can do here. He's got no support down the field. Everyone rotated out for Space Station. They're going to play this one off the clear as Falcons were parked on their own side.
And you saw Arsenal, that one bounced pretty high. I think he wanted to control that ball on the ground. But still, Space Station get the ball back. Flip reset from LJ. Arsenal going for a bump on Khaled. The Falcons, their defense has been holding up. They have turtled up a few times back on the goal line and just said, SSG take the shot. And now we're seeing a demo from Khaled.
I think for Space Station, executing a game plan to perfection at the moment. You're not seeing a lot of offense coming out from TRK and Ahmad. You're forcing Khaled to take the ball down the field by himself in many situations. Space Station haven't found that perfect opportunity quite yet, but now here comes Khaled. Shots on target and saved by LJ.
Nicely saved as well, but the attack not over. TRK up over 1. The tip around Daniel. Arsenal hitting it downfield, but you can see LJ running on just a single small pad. Ahmad going for the dunk, and it's back out to TRK. TRK dropping it off the backboard as we only have 1 minute left. Still no goals.
And that's the offense there for Falcons. That was a good 30, 40 seconds to push Space Station into their own side. But again, both teams really coming up fruitless here on the couple attacks they had. Arsenal, boost to work with here. Flip reset inbound and gonna let this one go off the back wall. As Daniel, I think, got punted out of the midfield. Still Space Station making the transition slow for Falcons, and it falls back into the hands of Daniel.
Final 30 seconds now. Daniel trying to make something happen. TRK over to the wall, pinch. Doesn't really go far, and it's cut off by Arsenal. Khaled trying to get this back downfield. Nobody from the Falcons there. There's a demo from Arsenal on the back line. Will that throw the Falcons off?
You see how deep LJ was sitting. Another demo comes out from Arsenal. Maybe the opportunity is here for Space Station. Arsenal puts one on the back wall and turned away by TRK.
TRK, will it get a good bounce? It does, stays in play. LJ demoed off the back wall. Khaled keeping the ball up. TRK towards net, it's blocked by Daniel. And now LJ a chance, he'll put it down to the corner. And we have overtime, an exciting series of events there near the end, Corelli, but the defense held up for SSG.
And that one's a painful one for LJ. No boost when he had space to bring that one down. Did the best he could. And now into overtime here in game 1. Falcons and Space Station. They've been so close since we last saw them, and they might stay close here again. LJ off the back wall looking for follow-up, and Ahmad comes out of nowhere to slow down Space Station.
Very nice read from Ahmad to prevent that rebound out in front of net. Now, low boost situation for Khaled. Daniel, a lob shot. TRK popping it high. LJ over to Arsenal. Arsenal gets bumped after his first touch. Now we might see a breakout from the Falcons.
In times like these, especially in a game 1 and in overtime, you look towards a player like Arsenal. 5 OT winning scores so far this season. He's got the ice for Space Station, but Falcons have proved to be one tough nut to crack so far.
They have been sitting back. This was not the gameplay that you might have expected from Falcons. They usually love to take it to the air. Now a chance for LJ. First touch control, going for an air dribble. Off the crossbar, gets denied. It was a 2-stack on that play by the Falcons, and they're still not out of danger. A pinch will clear it, and they get some breathing room.
But those are the opportunities that Space Station looks towards LJ to put away. The solo plays with space in front of the box, and he did a pretty close job there against the Falcons defense. Still, that defense holding strong, even when it looks a little dicey. They're able to clear it away. You can see there even at the end they got the pinch out, but here comes Space Station again. Follow up from LJ. The shot goes through for LJ, and Space Station take game 1.
It's the demo that clears the way. Usually it's Arsenal doing the damage, but this time it was Daniel and LJ. The player that you might have some question marks about was the one who put in that overtime winning goal. You said Arsenal had 5 so far. Well, that was a big one from LJ.
6 demos for Space Station in that game, and I think as we saw there in that final goal, or the first goal,
and 5 of them were from Arsenal.
Right.
The only one was from Dan.
And he's the guy to look out for physically, and I think Falcons have to know that. They certainly do going into this series. There's no way they don't do their homework against Space Station, who's been, I think, traditionally a very tough team to play against. All the North American teams have always given that over to Space Station. They say they're a very strange team to play against. I think international teams are finding that out now.
They really are. But, I mean, Corelli, this was the Space Station that we expected. I think it's fair to say. We know this is their play style. We know this is how they like to play the game. You know, Arsenal was connecting. At one point, he had back-to-back demos. You saw it even on the overlay. But for the Falcons, this was not necessarily the Falcons that I expected. You have Ahmad, who's looking for his 100th goal. He's just one away. He's been... by some people's standards, maybe the best offensive player that we have in Rocket League, but in that game, it was crickets from Falcons.
They were backed up. I mean, we talked about that so much. Space Station, as I said in the middle of that game, executing that game plan perfectly where they back up Falcons and just not allow them on offense, because Ahmad and TRK have just been so lethal for Falcons. But when you take that away from them, you notice how much defense they've had to play, and Space Station just peppering against them and finally breaking through.
Arsenal pressuring Khaled. TRK, I have to leave that one out for Daniel. Daniel just goes through. Who was that? He just went through a Falcons player like butter.
It was like nothing, but here comes the counterattack for Ahmad. Can he slip it through? And Daniel, racing back, makes the save. And for Falcons, they're trying to turn that counterattack into a goal, and I feel like with the way game 1 has gone, That might be their best bet. Here's another shot, follow up from Ahmad. Surely he can put this one away. He does, and Falcons on the board first.
And that is his 100th goal of this split. And it's to take the lead here in game 2 and a much-needed goal for the Falcons.
And as we said, I just mentioned it, the transition for Falcons is so important there. Space Station have given the space to them to put away goals like that. They aren't super pretty, but it certainly will work when Space Station gives up that space.
Arsenal taking out TRK. The demo's not slowing down for Space Station. Khaled trying to lob that ball out to the side. LJ cutting it out. A tip from Arsenal. Doesn't find a teammate. Now Ahmad dribbling it at the mid. Low on boost. Will boost management be a problem for the Falcons?
Uh-oh.
They have been getting demoed, and demos really do throw a wrench into your boost game plan. And there's another demo by Arsenal.
Now the 4th for Space Station. That's the 3rd for Arsenal by himself. TRK getting some flip resets there. Khaled, a tap in for him, and doubling up the score of Falcons.
So despite the demos coming plentifully, has not really made the difference so far. Falcons making the adjustments. It's not the pretty double taps or flip reset goals that you expect out of the Falcons, but it is surgical. They are just wearing Space Station down and catching them on the counter.
And that's what you have to do against Space Station. You aren't going to get these big highlight plays a lot of times. You have to grind them down. Here's another shot, well placed by TRK. Daniel once again streaking across the net to make that save.
Oh, Khaled getting bumped. Arsenal on the retreat. They'll try to hit someone upfield, but Khaled has an easy pass over to TRK. TRK recognizing the net's wide open. The Falcons are dominating.
And LJ trying to get that touch off the sidewall. Nobody back for Space Station. Now a couple goals in a row now that you're kind of scratching your head saying, where did the Space Station defense go? And I think, again, that transition game from Falcons has just been superb.
And now we're seeing aggression by the Falcons. Each member with a demo so far in this game. And each member with a goal as well. The love is being spread by the Falcons.
The Falcons are such an interesting team when you look at them statistically. You have a guy like Ahmad who's leading his region in goals per game and shots per game. And then you have a guy like, you have a guy like Daniel as Space Station puts their first away.
And this was a play that we have seen many times from Space Station. You let Arsenal go, lead block, take that final defender out of the equation, and that's going to equal a Daniel goal. Space Station not out of it just yet. We just passed the halfway point of the game, but a 2-goal game, that is something that Space Station fans will feel a lot happier about.
And plenty of time left on the clock here for Space Station if they choose to make the comeback, or if Falcons allow it. Daniel, as this one come down, and TRK's not fake, just straight through that. It's 2 minutes upon us here in game 2, and a lot of work for Space Station if they're gonna get back into this one. Falcons looking a lot better here in game 2, moving up that field, having a lot more pressure in that final third.
Will they get another one? These 2-goal leads can evaporate. Daniel gets demoed, but did get the touch. Ahmad getting demoed as well. A smoke screen. TRK's backwards, but he still makes the hit. We'll pass it into the middle. Khaled waiting. Daniel letting it bounce down. Will go for the control play. Getting bumped. Does get a nice 50. The bounce is awkward, but it's well read by Khaled. Sent back in from LJ. Arsenal was creeping on the back wall. Wasn't able to get a bump or a touch. And now SSG have to regroup.
Good control there from Khaled. You can see Falcons were able to deal with that much cleaner than if they were just to play it downfield. Now Ahmad almost going to put that one in off the challenge. Look at the demo on LJ, and Space Station trying to turn this one around, and another quality challenge there from Khaled. He's going to chase this one in the corner for Falcons, trying to set something up. Can he put it across, denied by Arsenal?
Time running out now for Space Station. Falcons trying to get this answer back in game 2. They've got a 2-goal cushion. There's only 40 seconds left for Space Station to do something. Khaled to the air, but again bumped. Double tap from Ahmad, and it just misses.
So many close chances there for Falcons. Space Station, despite their presence in the midfield in the final third, defensively have been a lot more shaky here in game 2. Been caught off guard. Falcons have been making a lot of dicey situations fall in their favor, as Daniel will push this one downfield with 10 seconds left.
TRK wasting these final moments. Gets another one, and then now you see a bump as well, Corelli.
Poor LJ. He's got players. Watch this one. Just picture yourself as LJ here. You flip back around. Amat's chasing him. He clips him a little bit. TRK playing it slow. LJ twisting and turning and diving away, but it's not enough. 4-1 for Team Falcons. They're looking good here in game 2.
Excellent response from Team Falcons. Falcons, they came out a little bit slow. They got shut out game 1, Space Station. They were demoing the Falcons. They were controlling the game. This was a completely different game from the Falcons. They out-demoed Space Station. 5 demos for the Falcons. Khaled only had a single shot, but got a goal. The offense was spread out. Nice passing as well from the Falcons to take advantage of the mispositioning from Space Station. This was a very convincing win from the Falcons.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. Just so much more control from Falcons as well. And we were mentioning, the goals, maybe not the most pretty goals from Falcons, but that doesn't matter. The point is, though, that Space Station defense and play style really has to force a team to change. And I think Falcons definitely did that. They countered a lot faster. They were able to move down the field and use each other a lot more and create more half chances that were able to break through Space Station's defense.
And Space Station, they've been trying to shut down the Falcons early. We've seen it so many times where a player, whether it's TRK or usually TRK or Ahmad, trying to get that first touch, take it up into the air, but then they just get bumped off the ball. We've seen that quite a bit. The Falcons haven't really been able to find that space up in the air, but it doesn't really matter. They're making the adjustments, and they made solid adjustments last game, bringing in the demos, bringing in the bumps, going for the 50s on the goal line. But now, we'll see what Space Station has in store. Coach Chrome, I'm sure, has some other game plans up his sleeve. We'll find out what they are. Off the ceiling, Khaled going for the lower corner, but didn't get much on the shot.
Good look there from Khaled. Now Daniel gets a flip reset. Can he go all the way to the corner? Daniel perfectly executed from the sidewall. And Space Station put away there first.
Oh, this is a thing of beauty. He just jumps right away. It goes into the flip reset. It's so hard to read. For Daniel, I mean, you're waiting for him to maybe do a late flick, but no, he just jumps, goes right in for an immediate flip reset that catches everybody by surprise.
You're waiting for the big individual play from Daniel, and you got it. He's been a lot of the offense here for Space Station through this fall split. Comes alive here in game 3. Arsenal, can he put this one away? Daniel's hunting, waiting. It comes out to him, and has to be Khaled in the air. In the end, Space Station back to their own side.
LJ got a piece of that ball. Khaled trying to buy his teammates some time, but TRK also caught out. Daniel going for a bump, forcing Ahmad to jump. Now double commit by the Falcons. Low boost as well for TRK.
Arsenal catching up to this one and not able to control it. Still is on the ball here and gives it over to LJ, puts the shot wide. Daniel waiting to come into this one and chooses his time, but Ahmad beats him. TRK's got to drop this one down. It comes out to Khaled. Shot goes high. Ahmad will not get there in time, and Daniel bails out Space Station.
But he didn't get the double. Leaves TRK some space. TRK infield pass. And that's hit off to the side by Daniel. Ahmad was ready for that pass. Space Station's defense, we're starting to bend a little bit. Team Falcons trying to break them.
You saw it a little bit in game 2 from Space Station. It's just not perfect, as LJ does get contact on that one. Just goes wide of the post. Ahmad plays this one off. Daniel almost dunks LJ as he plays it into his own corner. Dangerous there from Space Station. But now they're on the attack, so they turn things on its head. Still not able to hold on to the ball. It seems so quick, James, for them to move downfield and then just dispossess themselves. And Falcons kind of take it away and go back down the other side.
Right. Even defensively, Space Station was on edge. And they're still on edge. Daniel got a piece of it, and that near post blocked out by Arsenal, who hustled back just in time. The Falcons, They are really bringing it to Space Station, but Space Station are holding on by the skin of their teeth.
They've picked up the pace, and Space Station are not matching it. They've been so quick to the ball. Now Amon fakes this one over to TRK. And Space Station, they have got to change things up. Arsenal, flip reset, not good enough. Khaled denies again. Space Station holding on to that 1-goal lead, but it feels like Falcons might get one here soon. They've been knocking on the door.
Arsenal with a miss. Gives TRK the ball. TRK gets demoed, but did get a pop. No one from Team Falcons, though, there to follow up quickly.
Khaled still keeping the pressure on Amon, met by LJ. In the last few challenges defensively from Space Station, they've been quick. And that early challenge has prevented Falcons from breaking through. Now, Space Station trying to hold Falcons on defense here. Here's a great pass over to LJ. Shot goes just inside the far post, and a 2-goal lead for Space Station.
And that was great boost starvation out of Space Station. If you were watching the boost meters of Team Falcons in the upper left, there was no movement. There was no movement. Space Station was taking it to him, and that is the play you make when a team is low on boost. You pass it infield. You know they're not going to have the boost to get out and challenge, and then a great shot from LJ putting that to the opposite post from where the ball was coming. All around, wonderful play from Space Station, and they have a 2-goal lead.
It's been a defensive game 3 for Space Station, and they're not used to having to field so many saves here, at least not North America. They've been one of the better teams to prevent the shots on their target. Falcons have treated them a bit differently here in game 3, and I think if you're on the Falcons side, you're kind of wondering why the team can't break through. Space Station, they haven't looked fantastic defensively, but again, James, it hasn't been pretty. They've got the job done here so far.
I think we've kind of seen that across the board on the games in the series so far today, Corelli. These first-round matchups.
Day 1.
Yeah, they will have time to warm up and get going. Right now, it definitely seems like all these teams still have something to figure out, something to work on in terms of settling in and playing at the level we know they can play, because the Falcons, you know, we're used to seeing them hit some highlight plays, huge clips, and even though the Falcons won last game, we didn't see much of that. Space Station's defense has been shutting them down, and now this will be the second shutout. Space Station, despite that last game, have recovered nicely. The adjustments from them come out, and now they take the lead in the series.
7 shots from Falcons, 8 saves from Space Station. 2-0 lead was good enough. The 1-0 lead was good enough as they shut out Falcons here. And for Space Station, a great little bounce back. I feel like Falcons really started to get a hold of themselves in the previous game, but Space Station again bent but didn't break defensively. There were a couple times I think Falcons had them on edge, but Space Station were able to kind of weather that storm and put away 2.
Yeah, and you know, we did see a few demos out of Space Station, but it wasn't anything crazy. On the other hand, didn't really see much of it at all from the Falcons. There was a couple from TRK, but we saw that individual effort play from Daniel. Such a great shot. And that might be the most impressive individual effort that we've seen, and that was the best team play that we've seen so far in this series. And it's that type of presence of mind, if you're Space Station, where you know you've got a boost starve, you don't just hit it at net, don't just hit it at the backboard, you make that infield pass, you make those types of plays. That is what can put you over the top, and that did put Space Station over the top in this last game.
I think both these teams have so much to play for here. A matchup that was supposed to happen even earlier in the winter major last season when Falcons couldn't go to the major, and a lot of people have had criticisms towards Space Station internationally that maybe some of their runs didn't have the strongest strength of schedule. They've admitted that themselves. This is the type of major to prove themselves and to prove to the fans and maybe even the haters that they can take down, I think, a fan favorite and a strong team here at this fall major.
And we can also take a moment just to reflect on the impact that LJ has had in this series.
LJ,
yeah. And will it go in?
There
Yes,
you go.
It's finished off by Daniel. But LJ did the heavy lifting with that flip reset.
James, that's the best caster curse I've ever seen. A blessing, excuse me.
Depending on who you're voting or who you're rooting for, you know.
Certainly a blessing for LJ there. You just talked about the impact. That's the impact that Space Station wants. That's the stuff that you've seen LJ do throughout his couple of seasons here, and he's doing it on the biggest stage now.
And I mean, I still remember LJ from his time on Jamal Jabari. he took down NRG back in the day. I'm like, who the heck are these guys? And now LJ finds himself on the international stage and has made a huge impact on this series, scoring the overtime goal in game 1, the flip reset there that fed Daniel, and then even in last game, getting that second goal of the game. It wasn't really needed, but still, it was a great all-around play for Space Station. LJ having a positive impact so far for Space Station against a team that many people favored. Even T-Bates, who's been struggling so far out of the gate, just like some of the other teams, I guess.
It's looking like Bates always wrong. And for Space Station, they're a team that, when they do score first, an 85% win rate in their games. They've been so strong when they get out ahead. And now Falcons, they got work to do here.
And Daniel, even at the spring major, Daniel's one of those players that will get up early and challenge, will not give you the space to go for those individual plays. Team Falcons still scoreless. It has been a drought for them. They need to find something on the offensive end, otherwise it's going to be the series for them, and that might be it, but Arsenal swoops in to get the save.
I mean, that's a great save from Arsenal, but that was something special from Ahmad, and he couldn't put it away. Brilliant shot from him, disguising it all the way through, and Arsenal still got the read.
Daniel, nice touch back to let LJ move up and do work, and we've seen the work that LJ can do already. Daniel, another challenge. Khaled backwards. We'll go for a 50 on that ball. TRK coming in to help out. Will TRK go for the solo play? Tries to, but again, you see someone from Space Station up early to cancel out the play.
Yeah, exactly. That early challenge from Space Station has been paying off ever since Falcons got their first game, or the only game here in this series. That's been the biggest adjustment, I think, from Space Station. It's just to hurry up a little bit more. Get in the face of Falcons. Don't let them set up. And it's paid off here defensively.
LJ back down to the ground. Tipped up into the middle. Khaled going for the 50. Bounces off the backboard to TRK. TRK in the middle to Ahmad. Ahmad can't do much with that ball. Gets a bump, but missed out on the boost in the corner. Now will have to streak back. TRK trying to slow things down for him. Does well enough. Ahmad will help move it upfield. TRK. Khaled slowing things down, keeping hope alive for the team.
Crazy accurate there from TRK, and a tough pass to make when you're coming out of the corner like that. Beats LJ to the ball. The pass out to Khaled's perfect. And Arsenal, I think, just having to react in time is not going to get there. And a tie game for Falcons, and really it felt like they should have got one earlier. Finally able to break through and end the drought that they've been on for a couple games.
And Khaled scoring a couple times in this series, and usually it's the TRK and Ahmad show. Ahmad, by far the leading scorer in MENA, and Khaled surprisingly is 44th in goal participation, which, you know, we have a minimum. You have to play in at least 30 games for stats to be tracked.
It's dead last.
It's dead last of all the track players. So Khaled on the international stage, stepping up, trying to bring that offense, but he gets help from that lead scorer, Ahmad, with a massive shot.
You can see Khaled moving through the defense there of Space Station. TRK dropping it and letting Ahmad come through. The communication on point for Falcons as they take the lead late here in Game 4.
Falcons have answered. We'll see if there's a rebuttal from Space Station. Final minute of Game 4. We've already had one overtime. Now we see two demos. Daniel, stopped by Ahmad, who goes towards net. And now the rebound, chance for Khaled, double tap ball. A piece of it was hit by Arsenal. Arsenal preventing that rebound out into the middle. But Space Station, we've seen this quite a few times actually this series, stuck on their goal line trying to battle out.
And a lot of diving across their net to make saves. You see Arsenal even going high and coming off his own crossbar to make saves. Now a gap in the backfield here as Daniel there to clean it up. This one over LJ. Arsenal calls him off. Now Arsenal over one. Follow-up's there. Did he dunk him all the way through? It came off the crossbar. Follow-up from LJ's denied. 10 seconds left. Space Station trying to break through, but Daniel can't get there in time, and Ahmad pokes it free.
Missed there from Ahmad. Gives possession over to SSG, but LJ couldn't keep the ball up. And Team Falcons bounce back. It seemed like they'd be down and out, but we saw Khaled get that patient goal from the feed from TRK, and then Ahmad, a clutch shot to the top corner, and we are going to another Game 5, Chris.
And James, I want to go back to the point we were talking about with Khaled. It was a point I was trying to make earlier until Daniel scored a flip reset. You know, Khaled's been so defensive for Falcons. You talked about his goal participation, but also in goals per game, 34th there in MENA as well at 0.6. But defensively, he has been such a rock for him. I think the big game changer here is actually nothing about his defense, but him moving up, pushing players out of the way, being the threat that he truly is, and not being stuck on that defensive role. I think that's where Falcons really shine, is when they involve Khaled on the offense, and not just have their, of course, very strong dynamic duo in Ahmad and TRK. You've seen that here in against Space Station in that previous game, and I think that's what's really been paying off, is moving Khaled up and including him into the offense.
And you have to do it, because you've got a Space Station team who has a play style maybe that is not something that you get much experience in playing when you're back in your own region. But the Falcons have showed us the talent that they have. They can make adjustments. They have a triple threat team, truly. And we're seeing it here now. Game 5 on Champions Field.
It's been such a close match, and Ahmad is not going to make it close here early as he puts away his first.
And that is a statement. TRK, a nice pass off the corner, and that shot absolutely perfect. Upper 90, Team Falcons now 17 seconds in. They score when they have been struggling to get on the board in some of these games. See if Space Station have a response. Daniel, lob downfield. TRK is last. Arsenal backward pass, rebound out to LJ, and LJ will score it. You saw the opportunity there, and LJ did not waste it.
In the second this ball gets away from TRK, danger. You can see Daniel immediately chased Khaled into the back of the net and pushed him out of the way. That opened up the space for LJ, and you can see how fast Space Station executes the counterattack.
And you got to take out Khaled. He is going to be that third man for Team Falcons. Space Station, a quick response. We are back to a tie ball game. Khaled down to TRK. TRK just off the mark. Rebound out to Ahmad, and Daniel will save it. And now the counter. You see the demo.
He's still chasing.
LJ trying to get another bump. What? And Arsenal threading the needle. I didn't think there was an opening. He just forced his way through.
There wasn't an opening, but he made one. He went right through TRK, and Ahmad is in shock that he has Arsenal in front of his face and Space Station into the lead.
Arsenal bringing that ball down to the ground. You even saw him lay off the touch when he was going for it off the wall, wanted to get that ball down to the ground. He read that play early. Arsenal, one of the most creative players. He thinks quick on his feet, and he does the unexpected.
Game 5 looking like this series, back and forth, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Who comes out on top? Which side does the coin flip to? TRK trying to take all the luck out of the equation. His shot denied by Arsenal.
Saw he had no boost. Pretty much had to just take that shot. LJ out of the play.
Oh my.
All three up from Falcons there.
But they got the clear, and that's what's important. But here comes Daniel. This is dangerous. Off the back wall, almost got it down. Nobody was there from Falcons to challenge, and you do not want to allow Daniel to have free shots like that.
And maybe more importantly, no one was there from Space Station either. LJ. Hard flick out to the middle. It somehow leaks through. Another fake from LJ trying to bring that back to the middle. Daniel, double tap. It's good! Daniel, the young gun, busting out the bazooka.
Well, he missed the first one, but he's not gonna miss the second one. And Khaled's sitting on the goal line. There's not much you can do. You gotta guess on which side he's gonna put it. And he puts it right below on top of his head. 3-1 now for Space Station.
Space Station, they have this game in their grasp. And the Falcons claw it away.
Still plenty of time here for Team Falcons. They've got to find that rhythm that they had on offense. Ahmad, that's a great flick on, and both Daniel and Arsenal go for this one. TRK, can he turn this one around? Arsenal is able to control it in front of his own post, but still Falcons come out with the ball. Ahmad looking for options. TRK went, but he's beat by a mile from Arsenal. And Khaled trying to keep this one going. Zero boost.
Again. And we've seen this so much from the Falcons where they're trying to make the play. We even saw it from TRK earlier when it was just Arsenal and net. And now we see Daniel put through another goal, forcing it through on the goal line. TRK was trying to retreat back, went off the ball. It was a disaster from TRK.
It was not good control from TRK, but the finesse there from LJ to play that one across the net. And for Falcons now, it's been a disaster here in Game 5. It started off so good. Now LJ off the kickoff is denied by Khaled. 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes here for Falcons. They have got to go. They've got to put something together. TRK bumped off the ball, and an easy touch there for LJ.
It just seems like, Corelli, that battle for boost has been won by Space Station, and on low boost, the Falcons have not been able to make either the offensive play or, in that situation, the defensive play. You saw TRK even went over. Whoa. Oh, what a save there from Daniel.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to flip back
there you
to
go.
it. Khaled will poke that one in, putting Space Station out of their misery on that defensive play.
What a shot from Ahmad. Now, you can't blame Space Station too much here. It's going off the crossbar. It's being saved off the post. And they saved the most dangerous shot there, but got so spread out in the end. And Falcons, there's the offense. There's the attack, the press against Space Station. That's what's been missing here in Game 5. They've got to keep bringing it.
Hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. The Falcons, I thought they were out of this game, but they have fought back. TRK getting the backboard bounce pass, and Ahmad a wide open net. LJ thought the shot was coming in.
In and out save, not good enough there from LJ. Minute 22 on the clock. Falcons are making the comeback. They've kept that rhythm going here now. Ahmad trying to bring it down, but it's into the hands of LJ. A good bump will allow Khaled free space in front of him, and denied by Arsenal.
Rarely do you see those 3-goal comebacks, especially at this level. Will the Falcons be able to do it? Ahmad to the side, trying to get it across the field, but it's cut out by LJ. TRK, not the best pinch. Resulted in a shot from Space Station. Didn't get a hit on the ball either. Another pinch downfield. TRK will bounce it to the middle. And now Daniel, pinch opportunity, but it's back down. Now forced towards the Team Falcons backboard, hit back out to mid. And the Team Falcons are just trying to move upfield and tie this ball game up. Final 30 seconds. There's a long clear. That's going to slow the Falcons down.
A little jumpy now, double demo. Here's a shot for Khaled, but unfortunately Daniel, the last man back, able to make the save. It was too high anyways, and a double tap. We'll get by the next man. 15 seconds left. Falcons, anything left in the tank. It's been so good here for the last minute and a half or so. Here's the pass over, back to Khaled. He's gonna get there first, coming down, and Daniel makes the save. And Team Falcons trying to get a hold of this one. One more chance, and that one cleared away. It's gonna drop down, and Space Station come out on top.